put this away. So I'm here with Jim, your ad attacker. I'm going to show him my art gallery that I have built on the Uplift. The Uplift is a play to earn NFT based game which is based on Minecraft. So it's not exactly the same as Minecraft. Minecraft is the game engine, like Unity or Unreal would be the game engine for other types of games. Minecraft is the game engine for the Uplift. But to play it, you need to own some land. You need to go and buy an NFT, which is the deed to a piece of land on one of their servers, and then you can get in and play. But you also have to get a Wax wallet. Wax is the cryptocurrency that the in-game currency, Upliftium, is exchangeable for. And once you've attached your Wax wallet to your Minecraft account, and once you have purchased some land, then you can come here to the Uplift, and get started, and you will then select the world that you want to play in. Actually, you made that selection when you bought the land. But I'm going to stop this screen share, and now let's start a new one. And we're going to go to Minecraft. Alrighty. So I'm on a server called Uplift. Upluft. So Uplift is the server, Uplift is the game. And I need to go to the west. So what direction am I facing here? I'm facing north, so I need to go that way. Okay. So I was showing Eric this earlier, and I actually quit out of the game. Far from home. Not far from home. We'll be there in a minute. Oh, so I just put a Minecraft or a cart on the rail and accidentally pushed it, so it's going off to the end of the line. So I'll be walking instead. Alrighty. So Jim, does this place look different than the last time you saw it?
It's nighttime.
It's nighttime. I'm also running some shaders, so it's not quite so cartoony. It's like here, let me get it out from under this glass ceiling, and you can look up at the sky. It looks less blocky.
Okay.
Alexa, stop. Alrighty.
And you have a sword.
Oh,
I take it that's for the
zombies.
the monsters that come out at night.
Yeah, zombies, skeletons, spiders. For people who play Minecraft, one thing that is nice about this game is that creepers, they exist, but they don't explode. So a creeper is a four-legged green thing that makes very little noise, and it sneaks up behind you and explodes. So here we are at the Geb Gallery. Geb.io is the website where you can find the comic, and I've got some covers and other images mapped onto the walls here.
Cool. No more dirt.
There's our first issue. There's our second issue. The best viewing angle for that first issue is not up here, but down here. There we go. And then on the second issue, we've got now with new and improved ambiguous messaging. And over in this part of the gallery, we have a comic. It's one of the early ones. And over here, the artiste. So now, let me show you what my whole area looks like with the shaders on, because it's groovier than it was before. Now with new and improved grooviness. Here, let me get to where you can see the reflections on the water. Look at that.
Ooh.
Ain't it pretty?
There's a bandwidth hog. So you're just floating in the water?
It's shallow water. I'm just standing here.
Okay.
There's some deeper water over here, and if you walk into deeper water...
Plunge.
Oh! It's okay for a little while, but then those air bubbles run out, and you start to suffocate, and that's unpleasant.
We're here in the watermelon and sugarcane patch. You built a scaffolding?
Yeah. Let's get a look at the whole scene from above ground, or way above ground. Up we go.
bamboo scaffolding holding stone floor. Okay.
Yeah, well, I could actually take out the scaffolding and the stone floor would just float. That's how gravity works in Minecraft.
That's right.
Some blocks fall, others don't. Water falls, sand falls, gravel falls, lava falls, people fall,
Stone.
stone, wood, um, dirt, they all float.
Wow.
So let's see, where's the moon? It's not going to be light for a while. I kind of timed this tour badly.
Well, there's a square way up there that's glowing.
That's the
Is
moon.
that the moon?
Yeah,
That's the moon. Okay.
that's the moon. Now I've got a different shader that renders it more realistically, but I don't have it running right now.
All right.
But I'd like to show you what all this looks like in the daytime. But daytime's a ways away yet. So
Yes, you can't just flip over on a live thing.
yeah, what I could do, let's see. Um, what do you see on screen now?
It looks like it's scanning for games on your local network.
Okay.
Welcome to the Uplift world. Uplift world.
I
Okay.
need to stop the screen share and start a new one.
I can see many hours of pickaxing and the forming of stone in the lava ovens has been engaged in. Oh, nice little map of everything there.
Yeah, so this is the Uplift or the Uplift server on Uplift. And Minecraft worlds, they're either infinite or practically infinite. They just go on and on. So what they've done, so they can sell patches of it and also not have to run this whole world. They can, keep the server costs down. They've just walled in, a portion of the map.
Hmm.
So
So
my spot.
maybe in the future they're going to have some kind of portal to the next server.
Oh yeah, I mean you can already portal between servers. It's quite easy. In fact, I'll do that
Okay.
once I get back into the game. But this is the whole map, and you can see the people who are actually in the game right now. You can see where they are on the map.
Mm-hmm.
And my spot where we just were is right there.
All right.
So
Lots of water, lots of gallery space.
mhm. If anybody wants to
Little-
come visit me, down here in the corner is the location. So my location is 2200 by 3500.
All right. That's your grid.
Those are my chords or coords.
Boards. And you got a lot of undeveloped space around you, so
Yeah,
those are
some of the whales in the game, the big time guys who got in early, they bought up a bunch of land. I tried to buy the plot next to mine, this one, and the guy who owns it owns a bunch of this other undeveloped land. He said, "Nope, not selling. My friends and I bought this, and we're going to develop it together when we get around to it."
uh-huh.
So I'm kind of off in the wilderness by myself right now. Hopefully that'll change. All
Unless they don't get around to it. Henry George would have a thing to say about that.
right. Yeah, talk about that.
Oh, land speculation. He didn't like it. So his theory, he sat down one day, and after all these economic crises up and down, he's like, I got to figure out what the economy really is. So he read all of the available textbooks from the 1870s, all of the available economics textbooks. And it's like some things, okay, that makes sense. Okay, that's wrong. And he went through the first part of his book, published in 1879, was Progress in Poverty. Went through the first part of his book, talking about how economists got things wrong. And very often he kind of hinted that economics is a rich man's world because the rich have the money, and economics describes it. So somebody who wants to get a job being an economist has to tread very carefully, lest they be attacked, perhaps, or just lose their professorship. And he made some amusing corrections about one guy. He said, look, it's like saying what he just said is kind of like saying in mathematics, the plus sign and the minus sign are essentially identical. Then he pointed out the things that made sense, and most of them involved the taking of rents. Now, rent is when you can pretty much charge whatever you want for what you have. People that move to a new area, they set up a farm, other people move in. Well, once the land runs out, well, at least the good land, the people with the good land can charge higher and higher rents to the people that want to come later. It's like that is the key part of the key flaw in our economic system. People can sit on land for almost no cost, and then later they can sell it or collect all manner of rents. If they sell, they get a huge increase in their initial outlay. All they have to do is wait.
All right.
So for his solution is tax rents.
So to illustrate what you're describing there, and the philosophy behind that, I mean, it's by Henry George, so it's Georgism.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we're way up high above my plot right now, and now that the sun's up, you can see the nice shading that these additional software I've got running is doing. But see that black line there? That's the line of my property.
Okay, where the trees disappear. I mean,
right. Like there's
beyond
forest
which
over
they're
here, and here, the land is level, and it's regular. You'll see there's brickwork when I get down there. I've built a building on it. There's a big sign, big blazing sign here. And here's a neat thing you can do. It's
jump into the water.
You want into water, and you're just fine. See, I've got some nice landscaping. I've got some flowers and some gardens. So, as you say, many hours have gone into creating this plot.
Mm-hmm.
And in so doing, I have increased the attractiveness of this plot over here.
Yes.
This plot over here is worth more because of what I've done, while the person holding this has done nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And that's why Henry George said you don't want to charge what's called a property tax. A property tax is based on the value of the improvements. You want to encourage improvements. So the tax must be based not on the value of the improvements, but on the value of the land. So the persons next to you in a Georgist scheme would have their taxes increase as you developed your property.
Now, to some extent, doesn't that happen already? I mean, that's kind
Absolutely.
That's the problem behind gentrification, is that the new folk come in, spend a lot of money, and it causes the property values to increase, and the people who lived there before can't keep up with the new tax base.
Yes, it's an average of the location and all. It's like the taxes that you pay are based roughly on the taxes of your neighbors. George was a little more specific in what should be done, and in some ways, his scheme was not as well thought out or as practical, which is why it wasn't really as popular in many ways. But a lot of people adapted his theories and created a taxing system that seemed to work. I mean, you get New York City, which under a modern taxing scheme is probably falling apart. Under a George's taxing scheme, it actually worked out really well. You get all the beautiful buildings of the Beaux-Arts periods up until World War I. And that's because people weren't taxed on improvements and they could actually spend on their buildings.
So here I've gone to the spawn point in this game of this server, and you can see that the things that people build near the spawn point, this is where you enter the world for the first time.
Downtown.
Yeah, this is the high rent district, and this is where people have put in a lot of time and effort to put up some pretty impressive structures. But this is a newer server. There are some older ones, so we're going to go to a different server.
Okay. Yep, the longer you spend developing an area, the more developed you can expect it to be. London, Nemesis, Uplift. Okay.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so now it's going to take a minute for this place to construct itself around us, because I've got these shaders running, so that's why it's taking longer.
Mm-hmm.
But look at this huge vaulted cathedral ceiling.
Nice.
Yeah. And so all of these things that look like frames, these are portals into the other servers. So the symbol for my Uplift server is a blimp. But Uplift is a survival server, which means you have to do annoying things like mine for materials and not fall from great heights and that sort of thing. This is a creative server, so you can do fun things like fly.
Oh, so
Oh, well.
you are ascending to the vaults, looking at
Looking at the
the
world's first
stained
stained
block,
glass.
the
Yep.
stained block window. That's cool.
And you can fall a great distance and don't hurt a bit.
Yay.
Yay. But people have built some really just impressive structures here.
That
And
is
this is
nice.
a teleportation to the cathedral. Check this out.
And the cathedral is
The cathedral
take a
is this
walk. See all we
huge
have to offer.
glass dome.
Oh, it's an arcology.
Well, it's not sealed.
Okay. It's just pretty.
Yeah.
It's the great umbrella.
But
Now, is this one piece of property
this
under the
is
dome?
the person who founded the game built this.
Ah,
So yeah, this is much bigger than 50 by 50, which is what I have. So this surface that I'm skating across here is glass, and there's stuff below it.
wow. And you can go down into that area.
Yep. Not through the glass, but I bet we can get
Right.
down over here. Whoa! Splash. Okay, underwater. But because it's a creative server, there's no chance of drowning.
Nice.
We can just tool around underwater if we want.
And you have the shaders on, so it's difficult to see through the murk.
Yeah. So what I can do actually is disconnect and cancel here. Quit the game, which kills the screen share. And we're going to start it again, and I'm going to do it with the shaders off. So that'll take a minute. Where do we leave off with Georgism?
Well, we got to the taxing scheme that he liked to end the rents. And building up to supporting his theory, he was pointing out that it doesn't matter how successful any business gets. As soon as it gets more and more successful, the landlord raises the rent. So they essentially steal all of the progress that the business has made. Therefore, you're always going to have the low wage workers because the rent first has to be paid, then the workers. And the only way they can get out of it is to own property themselves or to relocate to a place that isn't quite nearly as developed, which means you're not going to have as much business activity. And that perpetual cycle of people jacking up rents is what causes the suffering. He doesn't really address banking problems in this because he's really focused on what happens to rent. Now, this also applies to natural resources. So if you have trees or a quarry or mineral wealth and hydrocarbons or whatever, rents would apply to what you extract because you have the sole discretion about the sale and use of what's on your property. And for him, the biggest problem in the economy was the ability to squat on land, speculating and waiting for everybody else to build up the land. Very similar to you go to any downtown, well, up until recently, you're going to find these places that are just what they call broken teeth in architecture.
Mm-hmm.
There's a building here and a building on the two blocks down, but there's nothing in between. It just gets turned into a paid parking lot with nothing more than asphalt for development. But
you're talking about Kansas City, Missouri.
You're talking about any city in the country, really.
It's
any
worse
place
in Kansas City than a lot of places.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Oof.
a lot of just flat parking lots, not even a parking garage, parking lots in downtown, like amidst the skyscrapers. You've just got whole plots devoted to, people stuffing dollar bills into little slots in a board so they can park their car.
Well, you lived in Seattle. Did you ever go up to the Seattle Center?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So north of the center, there used to be houses. This one woman, a widow, just started buying up houses and turning them into paid parking lots as the center grew. And she was famous because she hardly spent her money. Everyone thought she was penniless. But after her estate was liquidated, she was in the tens of millions. But all she had to do was buy a house where when somebody died or when somebody moved, and just give them above market, demolish the house, pave it, put in a service that ran the parking operation, and it paid for the expense of the purchase and the taxes for years. He just kept expanding because there was so much demand for people to park near the Seattle center. And that's the ultimate, if in Georgist, what riled George the most is people who just squat on land and do nothing with it. They hold back the progress of the entire society. He wanted to see people develop their land and start businesses and become economically viable in ways that didn't involve land. But if you have the sole discretion of the property, you get to decide what happens with the property. So his solution was to raise the cost of having land.
Now, you've mentioned that his scheme runs into some problems in the current context. I imagine other people have amended it to account for that.
I haven't looked into it much, but I talked to somebody who is much more versed in George than myself. And one of the main problems was determining the tax rate, because you are looking at how big a scale are you looking? Are you looking at a block? Are you looking at several blocks in a row? Are you looking at an isolated area? It's really easy to judge the development of a property, but it's going in how many stories are in the building, what kind of facilities, what kind of value would somebody offer to purchase a given building. But when you have to consider all the buildings and all the properties surrounding it, determining the tax is difficult. That said, when you get to that tax, according to George, you have the single tax. You only have one tax that you need and nothing else. Auto farms are bad.
Yeah, I'm in the Hall of Rules here. Now, it's the similar construction as the other place I was in with the vaulted ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
and see how much more plain and prosaic it looks without the shaders on.
Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, these are the Hall of Rules. So there's a thing in Minecraft called redstone. That's what's pictured here. This stuff along the floor, and you can take redstone and different other objects in the game, like switches and doors and lights and things, and you can build circuits. Like you could actually build a computer, a simulated computer in Minecraft. It would be enormous and it would be very simple in its operation. But one of the things you can do is build farms where you determine a period, but every so often the farm will just go through and harvest the plants that have grown, or kill animals that you've been feeding or whatever. But that you can set it up so it's running in your absence.
Yes.
And that screws up the economy of the game, and it also contributes to server lag, as the sign here says.
Right.
So they are forbidden, which is kind of sad, because this is one of the cooler aspects of the game. This is one of the reasons I was really enthusiastic when my oldest son, he was really excited about playing Minecraft, because you can build some really cool stuff in it, not just buildings, but circuits. All right, of course, be nice to people.
Yep.
No griefing.
The guilty will be exiled.
No infinite loops.
Yeah. I remember infinite loops back when I was learning BASIC.
Well, in this instance, here's the infinite loop. So there are different seasons in the game, and players are given rewards according to different criteria in different seasons. And in a previous season, you got credit, you got in-game currency just for moving around. So just, to walk around and tour the neighborhood, you would get credit. But, of course, the scammer or the person who wants to game the system just builds a little loop of rail and gets in their minecart and just, and they can walk away from the keyboard at this point and just keep moving and keep racking up the upliftium.
Oh, I see. This is a rail that is being pictured in a cart.
Yeah.
You spin me right round, baby, right round. Yes.
Like a record, baby.
Right, round.
All right. Let's go home to the uplift. There we are.
A hall of rules.
Yes. There are not too many.
No. Seems pretty basic.
It's not exceedingly legalistic.
So you're gonna put a cart on the rail and
Well, actually, I'd have to make one, but that's not hard to do. Thing is, I can only put down a crafting table on land that either I own or I've been whitelisted on, so I need to find somebody else's crafting table, but here's one. Oh, but I don't have enough iron, so I'm going to have to walk home. So
okay.
I won't make you watch that.
Why don't you have iron?
I just didn't think to stock up before I walk home. So I will be... I need to eat some food first because I'm got the hunger pains right now. It's keeping me from running. So we'll munch some carrots. And then, unfortunately, I'm like a 10-minute walk from the spawn, so it'll be a while. Well, Jim, I just wanted to show you the gallery so that other people can see the gallery, and they should know that they are welcome to come by. I think I'll get some credit if you actually visit my plot, which is a little bit of upliftium in my virtual pocket. But more importantly, I would appreciate it if you would go to geb.io, which is where the comic that gallery is in service of resides, where you can read the comic for free, get to know the characters.
Yes, everyone loves Joyce.
Which is funny, because she don't love you back.
That's her appeal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the dominatrix appeal, I guess. This looks very inclusive over here. The rainbow spiral that goes up to the sky.
Oh, a rainbow. Oh, a helix. Wow.
Yeah. So when did you get interested in Henry George, and how did you get interested?
Brian Check wrote a book.
For the Center for, what's the exact phrase? Society that doesn't grow. How does he phrase it? Steady state. The Center for Steady State Society. That Brian Check, right?
Oh, Check's. Yes, I'm looking it up now. His book is called Supply Shock.
Yeah, I interviewed him way back, like when I was still living in Arkansas. So it would have been 2006 or 2007.
(2006 or 7). Okay.
Yeah, that interview is probably missing from the archive. I had to take a hatchet to the archive at one point.
I see.
Costs money to host those files, don't you know?
Yes, I do. Yes. Yeah, that's why I have to take a little break from posting. Because I posted the last episode and it ate up all my bandwidth. And so I have to, because my contract is I pay X amount per month for X amount of megabytes of storage. Well, I don't know if you've heard the last episode, which you are on, by the way.
Oh, I have not. I'm a few behind, actually.
It is quite long, and it gobbled up all my bandwidth, and I am now stuck waiting for the clock to tick to November so I can post something else.
Are you on automatic?
Libsyn.
Libsyn, okay. Yeah, same sort of deal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's all right.
They punish prolific creators, basically.
Yeah, 50 megabytes is the base monthly base monthly allotment for the few dollars I'm willing to spend. This is a hobby for me, so I don't want to. I know a buddy of mine says that for anybody who wants to take a hobby seriously, you have to spend $1,000.
Some hobbies, it's a lot more than that.
Some hobbies is a lot more, but it's
you
like
won't get far in yachting with $1,000.
Your coolness factor will start at $1,000.
Yeah.
And I think that there's a lot of truth to that. You go out there and you watch other people ski or boat or swim. Everyone's judging equipment. Everybody. Oh, the other day I saw looked like a little boogie board, but it was on a hydrofoil and it was electric.
Oh, wild.
So they were boogie boarding about 10 knots down the canal. It's like no wind, no nothing. It's like, that is cool. All right. That's something I might want to look into.
You saw this in real life?
Yes. Yesterday. Yes.
You're talking about the world outside. I have so little interaction with it.
Oh, we were surrounded by so many people. We went down to the Husky game to visit with friends who were in town for the game, and so we're just wandering around the tailgate parties, you know, surrounded by thousands as one used to do. Now, for safety, of course, once you went into the stadium, you had to put on a mask.
You could tailgate outside all afternoon, drinking beer
Yep,
with the
that is
cheek by
correct.
jowl with everybody else. But once you step
That is,
inside the stadium, that's
that's
when the
right.
clock starts.
Yeah, just to make a funny, saw my friend. I haven't seen her in years. She says, "Anybody hugging?" And I said,
Hey,
"Sure."
you see what this?
And we
See
hug.
this?
Oh, I
This is
don't
the
see
mine
any.
cart. This there. I just picked it up. That's the mine cart that I put down and then accidentally nudged, so it went flying off. Rolling off down the line before I could get in.
I have somehow, when I went to my thing, back to meeting. There we go. I need to figure. There it is. Okay, there's the main my card. Here we go. So you went back home and got a cart.
No, I'm actually coming back toward my place from a different direction, and I found the cart that got away from me earlier.
Oh, good. There it is. All right.
There's my place, and that's what it looks like with the shaders off in the rain.
Cool.
Oh, and there I've nudged it again, and away it goes. All right. All right. There's Joyce.
I did like it when Joyce flashed to Pizza Man. It's like, "Oh, those nipples real?" Nah, Marky. Or
Sharpie.
Magic marker, Sharpie. That's it. Yeah. Now it's raining inside your house. Is there
Yeah, I
no
haven't
roof?
put a roof on the main gallery yet.
Are you still building up?
I am, yeah. So I'll take you to the top, and you can see where my efforts just sort of petered out. Like, here we are. It's like no ceiling there either, and a stairway to not much of anything.
Well, you need to get stone, which means you need to dig down,
Yeah, exactly. I need to go do some more mining.
and you have to go and find lava to make the block again.
I don't need that for this white block.
Oh, okay. You can actually carve the white blocks out of the stone, out of the bedrock.
I think this white stuff is called diorite, and you can polish it very quickly to get this final finish. Here, I'll show you my stash, my stone stash, dude. So here's the raw diorite, and then
It's in your
polishing
lot. It's in your large chest.
Yes,
Your
a
chest
full
of
dirt.
holding. Chest of holding. There we go. Construction materials. So what's the greeny stuff?
This,
Well, I saw it. It's like oak leaves.
and also
What does
spruce
one
leaf.
do with oak or spruce leaves?
Well, you can
Tea?
just throw them down, build walls out of them.
Build walls out of oak leaves.
Yep.
Oh, that's what those are. Okay. Are they spongy or they?
They break easily, but no, they're solid. I could jump up on top of them, walk around on them.
So you can have a compost pile as a building material.
Yeah, pretty much. The game does not simulate reality very closely. It's part of
I
its
understand.
appeal.
Yes, exactly. You can do fun things with it. Yes. And you are munching away on a carrot.
Huh?
Okay.
Now I'll take you down into the mine, and for that I should have a sword at the ready.
So your son has his own plot?
No,
Not yet?
no, my oldest son never reads his email, so he has not received my invitation to come and join me here. And my youngest son is a senior in high school, and when he's not working, or when he's not at high school, he's working a job at a gas station convenience store.
Okay.
So I'm not going to try to entice him away from those very sensible and admirable activities to come waste time playing Minecraft with me.
Take yourself away from your paying job and building of social skills in order to do this.
Yeah, to come hang out with Dad and mine. Hey, son, come mine for me. Grab a pickaxe and help me get some building materials.
You can at least give him a diamond pickaxe, for God's sake. That's right.
You know, I had all my great diamond gear, and and I was in the nether, and I fell a great distance into lava, and all my good gear was lost.
You don't have a diamond pickaxe anymore?
I
Oh,
do,
man.
actually. It's upstairs. It's in a chest. I don't want to use it because that'll wear it out, and I want to
Yes.
hold on to it until I've got the necessary material. Oh, crap. That's a zombie.
Oh,
He almost pushed me into the lava. That would have been
I was going to say, he snuck right up behind you, didn't he?
that would have been unpleasant. Yeah. Anyway, these are the mines. This isn't the place that, this is, no effort has been made to look pretty here. I'm just
You're carving
scrolling through
rock.
it looking for this stuff.
Ah,
This is what gets turned into the, the nice looking place
Yes.
upstairs.
okay.
Oh, that was,
Did you hit the water table?
no, I just took away a block that was holding back some water, so I just need to replace it.
Ah,
Oh, waterfalls actually act as ladders.
yes, I see that. Okay.
Kind of handy.
Ladders that can like stand there in space. I like that.
Here's another cool thing you can do with water. Requires a modicum of hand-eye coordination. Let's see, let me find a long drop. I will preview it verbally for you. What you can do is, if you're falling a great distance, falling far enough that you would take damage upon impact, if you have a bucket of water in your hand, you can dump the water on the ground just before you hit and take no damage.
Excellent.
Yeah, but
You have spider webs.
Yeah, this is a mine shaft. If you're just digging around underground, eventually you'll hit these pre-existing mine shafts,
Oh,
and they are populated with monsters.
I guess the term Minecraft is now more understandable.
You do a lot of mining in Minecraft.
Cool.
All right, so I'll go back up top, and I'll hopefully not die as I attempt to show you this trick with the using the bucket of water to avoid falling damage. All right. So this drop is not fatal. Oh, I didn't do it right. I took a little damage. Let's try again. Huh. It's not working.
Huh. Something about the lag.
I don't know. Either I'm not doing it right. It's not something I do regularly.
Well, it says you can't place a block there. Okay.
Oh, that's not my land. That's the thing. That's what's going on.
Oh, you're jumping off into land you don't
jumping
own.
off into public space there. So let's try.
Ah, it's beyond the line of demarcation.
Let's see.
The skylights are nice walking across that.
All right, we'll do it here. There. So, the last minute, I created a little pool to land in. And one bucket of water is enough. That's one of the beauties of Minecraft water. One bucket of water, and look at that. Perpetual waterfall, never runs out.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you can scoop it up later and put it somewhere else. Oh, look at that. And you can use that as an elevator. Yes.
Oh, people do neat things. So you see the orange in the .io over there?
Mm-hmm.
That is like a lava rock that I got from the nether. And when you put it underwater, it creates a little vortex, like a whirlpool, and it'll pull you down. So I've got a piece underwater over here. There, you can see I'm coming up on it. And when I get over it, it pulled me down and burned me. So you can actually use that to make an express down elevator. You have a glass tube that goes up as high as you want, fill it with water, you have that hot rock at the bottom, and something like a metal grate between, the place where you want to get off the elevator and that space. And yeah, people do really neat stuff with that. I'm not so patient or clever as to build those sorts of things.
Yeah.
I just go around and
harvest watermelon slices.
Watermelon, yeah, and plant flowers.
Your ground items will be removed in 20 seconds.
Oh, right. So the minecart that I sent scuttling off down that way, it's going to disappear from the game here in a bit. Otherwise, the game gets clogged with abandoned items that people have left and are not using, but it still takes game resources to keep them in existence. So this thing up here that is flying and screeching, this thing comes around when you haven't slept in several days.
So you have to like go to the bedroom and...
Yeah, I gotta cruise on over here to the bed. And get a little shut eye. Now, when you're playing single player, when you lie down in bed like this, it fast forwards to morning.
Oh, okay.
But since this is a multiplayer game, I can't fast forward everybody else's game, so I bet that's long enough. Let's leave the bed. All right. So.
And the bed bats won't get you.
Yep. I think they're called nightmares.
Oh, okay.
I'm 60% sure of that, though. All right.
You're getting all loopy.
Yes, exactly. You're hallucinating monsters that can actually kill you.
Well, that's the beauty of a game.
Yep. All righty.
Well, doing a lot of digging and building there. That's pretty impressive. Pretty soon it will be a tall tower of Geb.
Yeah, I think what I'll probably do to expand the gallery is dig down and clear a space underneath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking that, yeah.
Then, right now, the basement's pretty messy.
Sure, but, if you dig up, you could put a roof on it eventually.
Yeah.
Or if you build up, I guess. Dig down, build up. Yeah.
Yeah, to make glass, I need sand. So there's an economy sort of coming up in the Uplift. The villagers, which they've just gotten rid of, you used to be able to trade items with them, and they've gotten rid of the villagers, so now they're going to be player-run stores, I think, but those haven't been implemented yet. So we're kind of an awkward in-between space. But eventually I'll be able to get the materials I need to complete the glass dome that I want to put on top of that big open space where the rain was getting in.
So no NPCs, huh?
Maybe they'll introduce new ones eventually, but yeah, the familiar Minecraft villagers have been banished.
Okay. So the people that are just squatting on the land are really holding up the economy.
I think at this point it's the developers who retired the villagers before the replacement was ready. I mean, I'm anxious to blame the squatters, but in this instance, I don't think it's their fault.
Well, in any developing town, the city council has to deal with the facts on the ground. Yeah. They may decide to retire the villagers just to improve server flops. But
yeah, I think the villagers were, they were the economy 1.0, and they had to be ushered out in order to bring in the new. But there's this uncomfortable gap between the ushering out of the old and the bringing in of the new.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be cool. You get yourself a crystal cathedral and sit under the dome. Now, so you add other things to make colors in the glass, like the colored glass block in the cathedral.
Yeah, there's different pigments you can dig up, or you saw that I had flowers planted around, red ones and yellow ones. You can grind those up to make pigments, and you can, if you have sheep, you can shear them, and you can mix them with different colored pigments to get different colored wool, and make different colored glass.
Wow. You have spent many hours learning this game.
Yes, it's a lovely way to while away the hours of one's life without actually accomplishing anything tangible.
The goal of all Americans, I believe.
Well, I think the goal of all Americans is to be rich and famous.
Well, that's so you can while away the hours and produce nothing tangible.
Yeah, I guess so. You know who Henry Cavill is?
I've heard the name, yes.
He's an actor. He played Superman in the Zack Snyder films. He plays Geralt of Rivia, The Witcher. He was in one of the Mission Impossible films, but I didn't see it, so I can't tell you what his character was about. But you surely saw him in the trailer. He's in a fight in the bathroom, and he's wearing a suit, and he like gets knocked back into a toilet stall, and then he stands up again, and he like straightens his pulls his cufflinks, a very James Bond sort of move. Oh no, I'm actually thinking of James Bond. No, he sort of pumps his arms, to like as if he's cocking guns, but he's in a fist fight. Anyway, I bring him up because he is well known and beloved to gamers everywhere because he himself is quite the gamer. So even though he is not only rich and famous, but superhumanly built and handsome, he still goes home and fires up the PlayStation or whatever his platform of choice is, and interacts with the other gamer geeks online. And he's a born and bred native of the digital landscape.
Nice.
Even though he looks like a Greek god.
Well, that's just his day job.
It is, exactly.
I have a lot of friends who all they do is work so they can play games. And they have amassed amazing collections of games. And it's like, oh, yeah, not my style. I had to step away from the games because I knew I would become that soon.
Yeah.
I had to stay, married.
I am not married, but I don't plan to be alone for the rest of my life. So, yeah, I cannot abandon myself to the immediate gratification of the video game.
It is seductive.
I'm abstinent by any stretch, but, I do make an effort to maintain a life out there in the big room, the one with the blue ceiling, with the white clouds, which I'm told are real and not simulated, and I don't quite grasp what that means.
Yes, you haven't put on your shading glasses.
Yeah. Actually, it all gets much worse when I take the glasses off.
Yeah, that's me too. It's one of my reading glasses are what I'm wearing right now, and they're just so old and beat up. They're kind of cocked at a strange angle, so I don't go out in public with them.
Well, my reading glasses, I need to read street signs, billboards, and other things that one needs to read while driving.
Oh, I have a separate set of glasses for that. So, my eyes were so good. Oh, they were beautiful eyes back in the day, back when I drove boats. Then I turned 40, and it just all went downhill. I remember standing up in the pilot house and telling the deckhand, "You want to steer toward that white boat?" And there were several white boats, and she said, "Well, which one?" "The one with the blonde, the blue-eyed blonde."
Oh, really?
And then we got within half a mile, and she realized it was being driven by somebody with blonde hair. And she got so mad at me.
Well, you say it went downhill for me at 40. It went downhill for me at 13.
13? Oh, dear.
These are bifocals, by the way.
Oh.
Which have had a very unfortunate effect on my body language because,
tilt.
If I tilt my head back and I look through the bottom of the glasses, then things at a distance get even sharper. So I'm always doing that. I'm always tilting my head back to look at things, and then I'm looking down my nose.
Uh-huh.
It sends the wrong message.
I refuse to wear them. We got new, I'm a bus driver, as everyone knows. We got new equipment. Now, normally you got this car-like thing, only it's large, and you have instruments. You have to read little lights that come on every now and again, but they're usually under the steering wheel, as most of them are. Well, this one manufacturer decided, there's too many of them. Let's put them overhead. So now all of the people with bifocals who need their bifocal lower lens to read things have to tilt their heads up at an extreme angle so they can look through their lower lenses and see what damn light is going off this time. Of course, that takes their eyes completely off the road, and they don't even bother reading them now. So when something bleeps with lots of alarms and everything, they have to pull over just to read the instruments.
The obvious solution is trifocals. Have another band across the top that's extra magnified.
I've been thinking, would it be cool to develop a set of driving glasses? Then all you have to do is flip something down and you have reading glasses superimposed over it. But you look like some mad scientist as you do that. So I haven't bothered.
Wow. If Mark Zuckerberg has his way, everybody will be walking around with augmented reality headgear that looks absolutely ridiculous. So,
Oculus, yes. I
Oculus
must
is
say,
strictly VR at this point, but
it
the
is
VR
fun.
AR distinction. The AR is overlaying images on your actual vision.
It is fun. I've played with my brother's Oculus, and for about 15, 20 minutes, I was dipping my hand in various cauldrons and turning my hand different colors. It's like, okay, this is amusing, but I can't see a life like that. First of
Well,
all, your neck muscles would have to really be developed. It's a heavy unit.
in VR, you can't really see what's in your actual environment.
Right.
So in AR, augmented reality, you can see through the headgear that you're wearing to see the
Hmm.
actual world, but so can it, and it's overlaying information on real objects in your actual line of sight.
Yep.
And that's, I think, the some version of that is the interface of choice for the forward-looking Silicon Valley types. Google tried to roll theirs out way too early with Google
Yeah.
Glass. That was like back in 2014 or something like that. And I I tried on a pair. I met somebody in New York who had a pair, and it was ridiculous. I mean,
Mm.
it wasn't first. It wasn't your full field of vision. That had the overlay. It was a tiny little square just up in the corner,
Mm.
and the gestures. The head movements that you had to do things were absurd. It made you look like you had some neurological disorder.
Oh, one of my coworkers got a couple of cops fired because the cops behaved very poorly. And they deliberately took the coworker to a place where there were no cameras and no microphones. What they didn't know was that he wore a Google Glass and recorded the whole thing.
Ah, would they do?
So
Beat him up?
no, no, they just used words that they should not have used, and
Ah,
then they falsified a report. And after the falsified report came out, he came out with his Google Glass file and said no. And those cops who falsified the report were, of course, let go. And the policy, of course, afterwards was don't do that. Don't defend yourself with electronic filing.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that stands to reason.
It's one of the reasons I'm in the union.
Blame the whistleblower.
Yeah, well, yeah, or blame the technology that allowed any whistleblowing to occur. And that's like, I'm sorry. No, I do not agree.
But that's a little taste of William Gibson's maxim of the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed yet.
That's right.
In the
I like
future,
what he had.
assume you are being recorded.
Yep, that's right. I like his comment about how most science fiction writers dream of a future when really they should focus on Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey Jim, I have a real life cabbage soup that I need to go attend to.
Very good. Good to talk to you, man, and
Yeah,
great work on the gallery.
thank you. Talk to you again soon.
Later, man.
Bye.
Recording stopped.
All righty, and let's stop the stream.